somebody put this in React Smash, and the thumbnail caught my eye. Inez, if Inez says it though, then it's kind of true. But I've got to disagree with the wife here. I did buy her a new dress and a pony, right? People keep talking about Dora being in the background, but she said he's just a friend. Fan service is cringe. As somebody who loves the design in Arknights, I'm okay with a little bit of fan service. Too much, it kind of ruins it, right? And if it's like, there is a level like to fan service, some characters to me just look a bit goofy when they go too far. I'm okay with a little bit of sexiness here and there, but if it's too much, it kind of, it doesn't make it feel special, right? Again, I'm the type of person that's not a massive fan of bikini skins. If you want me to spend on a skin, I want it to look like this, right? Which I think might be my favourite skin in Arknights at the moment. It looks fucking badass, you know what I mean? So let's check out this video from Dalton Gatcha. The secret behind Arknights skins' subtle design. Let's give it a preemptive like and see if it's any good. If it is, we will subscribe.
Arknights is one of the few gacha games that doesn't take the easy path. There are no super revealing outfits, no cheap fanservice, and yet it still makes a lot of money. Nowadays, most games...
Imagine that, just make a good game and you can actually make cash. The same thing though, I understand why some games do it, right? It catches people's eyes. It works as well for some games, right? It does. There's people out there that want big ass titties in their face, right? Again, for me, I want my skins to look cool rather than it to be like a bikini. Like, perfect example for me, Jinsei, Wuthering Waves. Original skin, badass. I was desperate for like a Noelle kind of skin, like from Genshin, like her in battle armor with greaves and just looking like she was going to war for her country. And we got her in like a nightgown, and I was just like, everybody was saying, oh, this skin's amazing. And I was like, I don't know, man. I think she looks better in her OG outfit, if I'm honest.
Try to get attention by showing as much skin as possible. Arknights doesn't. It's confident, stylish, and kinda different. And to be honest, I like that. I'm not a fan of extremely revealing skins.
Arknights is about thigh gooning anyways. A little bit of thigh actions are good though,
It feels too obvious.
Listen, there's a reason why things like stockings and such are so attractive to men, right? When it's, a little bit, just a little teaser, but not showing everything off. I think tends to be a little bit more sexy, doesn't it?
For me, like the game is begging for attention. That's the reason why, for example, I did not yet play Nike, just because of it. Arknights proves you can be successful without that stuff. In the most gacha game, the formula is always the same. New banner, new outfit, and usually a lot of skin. It works, sure, for a while, but people get used to it fast. Each time the developers have to push...
I said this before, again, it's good when characters have like sex appeal. And like, even when you look at like, it's good to have 4-star characters or 5 stars or whatever your rating is in the game, A ranks compared to S ranks or S ranks compared to SR ranks, because it makes the special characters seem more special. When everybody's sexy, when everybody's an S rank, when everybody's a 6-star, nobody feels special, right? Because everybody's special, so nothing feels special. So that balance is definitely key as well, isn't it?
Even further to keep players interested. And I think the great example of that is Brown Dust 2. Oh my god. It seems like Arknights doesn't follow...
I've actually wanted to stream Brown Dust 2, but that game is so gooner. I can't. I've seen people, like, I'm pretty sure Guitar got a strike on his channel, right? Yeah, for reacting to some Brown Dust content. It's like, just not worth it. Like, I'd love to play it on stream, but I'm like, yeah, man, not worth the risk, bro.
That trend. Instead of show more, it went for say more, with story, music, and great world building. And that choice made it stand out. I would say Arknights isn't trying to be hot, it's trying to be cool. The outfits looks like something from a modern fashion show or a sci-fi movie. They show person.
Yeah, agree. You get like that's intentional as well, right? Because if you go into like the brand section of the game, we need to get back to doing drip nights actually. It's set up with fashion brands, right? It's titled of like the way clothing companies do their autonomous wear and their spring wear and all that sort of stuff. That's an intentional design, right? You can tell that with Hypergriff, that is a thing they want to come across with the game, that it is a fashion thing, as well as this looks pretty badass. This is actually like a well-designed item as well, which I hope they carry into Enfield also.
Personality, not just a skin. And what's really rare, Arknights has a lot of male characters and they get great skins too.
Probably some of the best male characters.
Guys are just background characters while all the focus goes to the girls. But here, male and female operators both matter. It makes the world feel more balanced and believable, I would say, not just like a simple wife.
Fleshes it out. Feels like a lived-in world, right?
Simulator. Everyone feels like a real character, not just fan service. When Arknights releases a new skin, it's not just less clothes, more sale. Most of the time, these outfits tell a story. A new skin might show another side of the character, a softer moment, a special event, or their role in the world. Yeah. Even the summer skin.
Sometimes they're even just like a casual moment, right? Like, this is probably what they're wearing at home when they're watching TV kind of thing, which I love that, right? Now, sometimes those skins might not even be for me, but I like that they're there because, as I say, cause this is a game that cares about world building, right? And characters living outside their job adds to that, doesn't it?
Which could easily go full fan service, stay classy compared to the other gacha games. They look nice, fun and creative, but they are not desperate. That's what I love about them. They are designed with taste, not just clicks in mind.
Sorry to keep pausing you. Man, this fucking Milnar skin is so fire. Again, some of the best, if not best, male character designs in gacha. And he says he doesn't feel desperate. This is like Arknights MO as well, right? A little bit of glazing here. The game has that throughout, right? You don't ever feel like Arknights feels desperate in terms of like, you know, some people have their questions about the gacha system itself, but in terms of like, the game never feels like it's desperately trying to get you to swipe. You end up, or saving, somebody like me swipes now and again, because they just do a real good job, right? They just do a real good job. It doesn't reek of desperation, as he says, but that's like throughout the game, in everything as well.
So how does a game like this make so much money without all the usual tricks? Simple, it builds trust. The art, story and music are made with care. The developers respect their players and players feel that. People spend money not because they are being tempted, but because they want to support something that feels honest. Arknights
said this for ages, right? You can make a lot of money quickly for a short period of time with certain tactics. But if you want to make a good amount of money for a long time, trust and actually making people, this is why I always say, you know, when people like gacha games are not supposed to be played for any prolonged periods of time, but if you make the game and people want a game that people want to play for prolonged periods of time, guess what? They're probably likely to spend out of the fact that they just want to support the game and they enjoy it rather than they feel like they have to. Because don't get me wrong, plenty of games make a lot of money out of making you feel like you have to, but you always feel a bit like shit afterwards, like, you know, or you've had to really grind to get something done in a quick space of time to get that thing, where that lack of FOMO for the most part, if you do decide to spend, somebody like me, I think, because I've spent in Wuthering Waves, I've spent in Zenless Zone Zero, I've spent in Genshin, Star Rail, and Arknights. They're the only gacha games I've spent in. In Genshin, it was like 30 quid. Star Rail, it was like 30 quid. Wua, probably about 200 quid. And Arknights now, probably looking at about 150, something around that. I've never really regretted any payments in video games at all, because I look at it as a cost time thing. But I never felt, it felt good in Arknights. It felt like it was a total choice. It wasn't like I need to do this to get this thing done, where like Wuthering Waves, it was like, fuck, I need to get this weapon, so I'm going to have to spend. And although I didn't regret it necessarily, it kind of felt a bit shit while I was doing it, if that makes sense. I wouldn't go as far as to say as regret, but I was like, you know, it's a shame that I felt like I had to. You know, I definitely got hit by the FOMO a little bit, I guess.
It isn't selling you skin, it's selling you style. It's worth to mention that there is another reason behind its subtle design. The game comes from China. China has strict rules how characters can be shown in games.
You can see that with CCN,
design
right?
can be easily censored or banned. So developers like Hypergriff have to be careful, but instead of treating that as a problem, they turn it into their style. They focus on elegance, mystery, and fashion, and that works perfectly because it fits the tone of Arknights. It's mature, serious, and artistic. So, yeah, probably part of the reason why the skins are so subtle is because of the Chinese rules. But on the other hand, they probably can easily develop more revealing skins for the global region, but they decided not to. And
well, they don't need to though, do they? That's it again, because they're quality. You see Chaos Zero Nightmare, you see the global compared to CN, they're drastically different. And I've seen people, and I'm not even calling these people out, like I've seen Stick saying like they're really glad they're not censoring it. I'm glad they're not censoring it, right? I'm not gonna lie though, I think the CN versions look better, because all that it happens with the global versions is the tits are bigger and they're more out, which, hey, people might like that. But I think from an aesthetic and a design element, I think they look worse. You know what I mean? So it doesn't always mean better looking characters anyway. And again, I don't think Hypergriff need to have uncensored versions for global, because, as he said, they're treated as a, you know, well, we're not just making boobs smaller on this or covering boobs up. We're making a character that looks really good. And, you know, you don't need to uncensor a good-looking character then, do you?
Honestly, I respect that decision. I think it's pretty nice. And I feel because of that, Arknights attracts more kind of players. It's not just for guys or waifu hunters. It's for anyone who likes deep stories, strong art, and characters that actually feel real. The design is smart, inclusive, and elegant. And that's why people stay and spend a lot of money. Arknights shows that you don't need to use cheap tricks to succeed. No greener skins, no clickbait, just quality and respect. And honestly, I wish more games would do the same, because being stylish without...
The thing is though, I think why a lot of games do it right is because they lack substance. End of the day, if you can survive 2 years in this space and make a profit, you've done good, right? And if you go down the Gooner route and it works for you for 2 years, then you've made money, right? There's a reason why Arknights is still going strong 6 years later. It's got substance, so then you don't need to fall into those pitfalls, yeah.
Trying too hard. That's true confidence. But what about
you?
We're
all artistic
here. Do you
here.
like this more classy approach, or do you think fan service is part of the fun? Let me know in the comments. When it comes to my favorite skins, I think I'm the biggest fan of the newest Ines skin. It's really nice and classy. And what do you think? What is your favorite skin? Also, let me know in the comments. I'm curious. Thanks for watching.
You guys know me. The Inez skin at the start, at the moment, is my favourite. I wouldn't even say it is classy. It's not even for the fact that it's like, it's just cool, right? For me, when it comes to skins, it's it needs to be aesthetically pleasing, and the cooler it is, the better, right? I'm a big fan of like armor and greaves and all that sort of stuff, especially on female characters. I think it looks badass, right? I think a female warrior character dressed in cool armor is one of the most pleasing things on the eye. So yeah, I guess you could say it's classy, right? But for me, I don't know if that's how I look at them. I don't go, oh, these are classy and that's trash. I just think they look better, right? I just think they're better designed. You know what I mean? I just think it's as simple as that for me. And there's other games out there doing cool stuff as well. Of course there is. But yeah, I think for me, when it comes down to a skin that's just like a bikini skin, I'm like, I don't look at that and go, oh, it's not classy. Look at that tacky shit. I'm just like, okay, it's a woman in a bikini. Right? For me, when I see bikini skins in the game, I'm like, that's a skin I want for free. I ain't paying for that. You know what I mean? I just got no desire for it at all. But yeah, great video. You know what? I'm going to drop a sub to Dalton Gacha. Agree with pretty much everything he said there. I think Arknights kill it on the skins, and I think it's just because of a design philosophy that runs throughout the game. Right? Quality, substance, and I think a lot of it is all attached to world building. You know what I mean? And sometimes a little bit of just a sprinkle of fantastical stuff in there just because it looks cool. But I think a lot of the time it's down to like expanding this world and the characters within it. And I think that's why it does so well as well. But yeah, man, let me know what you think, guys. Because yeah, well, I think this was a good video. Yeah, shout out to Dalton Gatchak, guys. Go show some love to your boy. That was a great video. Great video.